guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are here with Alyssa Mercy. I'm going to say it wrong. Of course, I'm going to say it wrong. I've been saying it wrong for a year now. How do I say it, Alyssa?
Mercieri.
Thank you so much for being here. We're excited to have you.
I'm happy to.
So we are, guys, I'm really excited to talk to Alyssa today because Alyssa is a past KLR student, like most of our interviews are and have been. However, this is a special scenario because Alyssa is from our high school program, which is a 1 or 2 year program for traditional high schools. Juniors and seniors can take, they come in, they take medical terminology, principles of healthcare, and pharmacy tech with us. And then they participate in work-based learning as part of their graduation pathway. And Alyssa was in our first round of courses in our pilot program for that. And I'm really excited to just kind of talk to you today, Alyssa, and let everybody know kind of, how you started, why you started, how that process went, and kind of where you're at now, which is the really exciting part. So why don't you kind of introduce yourself? Tell us about how you found out about KLR, and what made you take the course, and then what was your experience with KLR?
Okay, so I'm Alyssa, if you didn't get that. I found out about KLR because Options Charter School, where I went to high school, sent out an email to I guess select parents or something. But my dad got an email about it and was like, "Do you want to do this?" And I said yes, obviously, because I've always been interested in pharmacy, like pharmacy tech and pharmacist, and it's just something I've always been interested in. So when he said, "Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Of course I do. I really want to do this." And my experience with KLR was amazing. As we all know, Katie is awesome. All of the other administrators, Shauna, Allison, and everybody are all amazing. So they definitely really made the experience.
Awesome. And so yours was, you were a senior, so it was just the 1 year program. And
Yes.
so you started in August and finished in May. And it was, like I said, a pilot program, guys. So it was interesting because we weren't like, Alyssa, you should see what the class looks like now. First of all, I don't teach it anymore. Mr. Brent teaches it, but it looks so much different. They're doing, all kinds of different projects now, all kinds of different things. So really exciting there, but always something that is like growing, especially when something's a pilot program. You learn the first year, and then it's, just becomes more detailed, etc. And so it was really kind of a learning year for us, even though we'd had that 8-week pharmacy class for 5 years at that point. Throwing it into a year-long program looked a little different. And so but it was a really great experience. We had a really great class with your group, so really awesome there. So you went where you had to participate. Let's switch up a little bit here. You had to participate in rotations, and
Yes.
the idea for rotations are work-based learning, which is part of the graduation pathway, is for you to participate in 1 to 2. You can get retail pharmacy and hospital pharmacy, which is inpatient pharmacy, or you can do one or the other. And we started you out at one place and you ended up staying there. So let's just talk about what your rotations were, kind of where you did that, what it looked like, and what you learned during that time.
Yes. So my rotation, I started off at Riverview Health in Noblesville, Indiana, in the inpatient pharmacy. It's initially an 8-week course, and then you take a break, and then you go to another 6-week rotation at the same place or another place. I was asked if I wanted to stay at Riverview Health for my second rotation, and of course I said yes because I love it there. So I did 8 weeks, 4 hours a day, and then I went back for another 6 weeks. So from January till I graduated in May, I stayed at Riverview.
And we actually came to visit you while you were working during your rotations or work-based learning. And we were, you were so nervous that day. But guys, if you are interested, so we actually showed up. You want to kind of talk about what we showed up for?
Was it a commercial? I think it was
Yes.
something of the sort. I don't remember a lot about it.
Yes, so we were doing a commercial or a video, a short video with the Pursuit Institute, which is Hamilton County's new career center. And since we were partnered with Riverview and you were a student of ours, we came in and guys, we will try to link that video down below. But if you would like to see the video of Alyssa really in action at work, it is also over on our YouTube page. So that was really fun to get to really see you in action and see how much you had learned. And then, so after those rotations, what happened then? You just left Riverview and
No.
let's talk
After
about that a little.
After my rotations ended, I wasn't there for probably like a month. No, it was a couple weeks. And I graduated and everything, and then I started my first day full time at Riverview on June 5th.
So you were offered a job position, like a full-time job. So Alyssa went in, guys, and she absolutely killed it. She used those rotations to really learn as much as she could and become an asset to the team, and then was literally offered a full-time position directly out of high school. And I want to get back to that just here in a few minutes about what you're doing with that. But so we know now that you work at Riverview. What's your title? And kind of tell us about what a day in the life might look like as a pharmacy tech at your hospital that you're working at.
Yes, so I am a certified pharmacy technician there in the inpatient pharmacy specifically. So there's a couple different shifts I could do, whether I'm just pulling cart fill and or delivering to the different units.
Mhm.
Or I could be doing IV room and making IVs for 8 hours straight. And then there's also med history. Med history is special. You're just going in and doing med rec with a bunch of patients all day long in the ER. And those are really the only things I do there.
Okay, that's not the only thing. So I feel like that's right. It sounds like, oh, I guess that's all I do, right? Because it comes out so quickly. But in all reality, you are doing all kinds of stuff. And guys, I'm pretty familiar with what she is doing at the hospital because she is working at the hospital I worked at for 6 years. And so it's a great place to work. So let's just talk about what you talked about med history and IV and then the D shift, which is, pulling cart fill and answering phones and assisting the pharmacist and packaging, et cetera, all the things, anesthesia trays and visiting surgery and all the things that you are doing in your shifts. What are your favorite things about being a pharmacy tech? What's your favorite position?
My favorite position would probably just be E1,
Okay.
which is evening shift from 11:30 to 8, because it's a lot more relaxed than morning shift, because a lot happens in the morning. Everything, although I will say everything bad always happens at night.
It does.
When
I agree. I
that's when all
agree.
the problems
When you're
happen.
short-staffed, there's not enough people there, and right before you leave for your shift, yes.
That's when the bad things happen. But I would have to say E1 just because I start my day off with everything mostly pulled. And then I go do my thing and I pull my own thing and then I go do it. And then I help out with the pharmacist the rest of the day,
So
which
just
is
because it's a little less laid back. Or
yeah.
it's a little more laid back, a little less laid back in the mornings where it's kind of like you like pretty much hit the ground running in the morning. And I feel like that's, the case with healthcare in general, right? Because the mornings are just such a busy time to, kind of start our days and do the rounds and, make sure things are completed. So I think that's pretty normal. What do you find the most challenging about being a pharmacy tech?
I think the most challenging thing is just learning as you go. Because every single day you learn something new that you either didn't learn in school or you've been working there for months and you never knew. So I think the most challenging part is coming into a situation in which you don't know what to do.
And how would you handle that if you don't know what to do? What do you do then?
Well, there are always other techs around you as well who've been working there for probably a lot longer than you have. So you can always ask them. And the pharmacists, I promise, they're not mean. Pharmacists are some of the nicest people, so you can always ask them and they will give you an answer very
Yeah,
well.
I think it's so important to have good relationships with the pharmacists that you work with. And we talked about that before on this channel and in these interviews. And I will say it again, like if you have a good relationship with your pharmacist, you are golden because your pharmacist needs to be able to trust you and vice versa. And you guys are gonna be working really closely together. So it's really important.
Yes, you're so close all day.
What are some of the things, Alyssa, that you learned in our class that you use all the time now in your actual career?
There's a lot of things that I learned in school that you don't particularly use there at the same time
True.
because a lot of the forms and all those things you don't use those unless you're an outpatient,
Very
which I
true. So I think that's really quickly. I want to point out, guys, that what you take out of a course is going to be very different based on if you go into retail pharmacy or inpatient pharmacy. And so, and I want you to kind of talk a little bit more about what you mean by that.
So when it comes to SIG codes, I use those a lot in med history, and I use them a lot when I work outpatient at the Riverview Health in Westfield. I use them a lot in both of those places. I don't use them
At
nearly
all. Yeah.
at all in inpatient pharmacy because everything is printed as you need it.
Yep.
You don't have to figure that out. But some things, what else is there? Like needles, when we learned about the different types of needles and
Mhm.
everything, I use that all the time in IV
In
because it's
inpatient, right? In inpatient, but you're never gonna see that in retail.
nope,
I would say another one, what would you say about insurance? You're never gonna use that in inpatient.
no. But you use all the Medicare stuff in outpatient.
Yes, exactly. So it's a good mix of it. But so and you're getting because you are filling in there at both locations. And so you're getting a good mix of both because you are doing both inpatient and retail. So it's really cool that you're getting to use all of that. What are some drugs that you see most often in the pharmacy?
Mm. Um, it's very different from inpatient and outpatient because you see very different things.
Mm-hmm.
In inpatient pharmacy, I'd say the most things you see is Mirum. Always see Mirum.
Carpenum, yep.
A lot of aspirin. Just
Vank,
for baby, yeah, a whole lot of Vank.
yeah,
Zosins.
yep.
But in outpatient, I'd say a lot of it is like hydrochlorothiazide, amlodipine.
I was just gonna say that one, yeah.
Mhm.
Hydrocodone,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I don't count those, but they do.
yeah,
The pharmacists count those. But metformin.
yeah. Lots of metformin for sure. I feel like we see a lot of metformin in the hospital even too. Just going to patients. Okay. And what advice, last question, what advice would you give to, oh wait, let's go back. Let's go back. I just want to kind of talk a little bit about what you are planning to do. You finished high school, you took this course, you became a certified pharmacy technician, we got you state licensed, you did your rotations, your work-based learning rotations, and then you were offered a full-time position where you are killing it now. But you didn't stop there. What else did you do?
I applied to pharmacy school at Purdue.
That is so exciting. And so we were just talking about this prior to jumping on this call, and you were thinking what January, somewhere between January and March is when you'll
Yeah.
find out. And so it's just so exciting, guys. It is really cool to watch each of our students kind of come into their own and learn what they want to do after they take a course like this, and to kind of watch and one of the reasons it's so cool is because I'm always telling you guys it is the sky's the limit, right? You can do all kinds of things. You can become a retail technician and work your way up to inventory specialist and lead technician. You can go into a supervisor position or management. You can become a pharmacist. You can go into education. There's all kinds of different things you can do. um And Alyssa, we're so proud of you and really, really just gunning for you and rooting for you, and can't wait to hear what the call, the outcome is in January, somewhere between January and March. So you and I will definitely have to be in contact between that time, but we're super proud of you. What is some advice that you would give to new pharmacy techs or anyone who is wanting to go through this course as a junior or a senior?
There is one main piece of advice: do the work. It is a lot of work. There is homework and assignments every single day. And I know 50 bullet points out of a 40 slide presentation is a whole lot of writing. Trust me, it's a lot of writing, but it pays off because everything that you're making notes on, you're going to remember, and everything you need to pass the exam and then succeed once you do get a job. So as long as you do the work, you will do amazing in the course.
Like you did, you killed it. I do have to tell you, you're going to be so upset to hear, or so jealous to hear, we actually changed the 50 bullet points, and so there's no more than like 20 bullet points per chapter now.
How rude.
So
My
yeah, as
notebook,
soon as you said that, I was like, oh, she will just love to know this.
my notebook is like half full
I
of
know. I know it was so many notes. But I will tell you there's a lot more like in class projects now and things like that. And so um who knows which one did more, but I know you did a lot of writing in that class. So
it
um
helped me.
it did, and you killed it, and
Helped
you
me.
passed the exam with flying colors, and look at you go. You're just knocking it out of the world. Out of the water now. So we're so proud of you. Thank you so much for being here and talking with us today. I know that it will be really beneficial for other students who might want to take this course or who are taking this course to hear. Guys, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so, and please hit the like button on this video and give Alyssa some words of encouragement for Purdue down below in the chat box. Alyssa, thanks so much for being here, and guys, we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.